Warning! Warning! I am an idiot. I'm just a guy in a pole barn. Get it? Pole barn garage. Anything I say to do, you do at your own risk. I'm just some dude. Let that be your disclaimer. Let's get on with the show. Well, here's our progress on the engine front. Went ahead and distributor, used plug wires I found laying around, made a whole set. Used carburetor off something else. Used alternator. I just rebuilt it. We're missing the alternator bracket. We need fuel hoses and all that. On a Pontiac, you can't plug this front heater hose. So I just hooked a hose up and ran it to the back of the head. It'll work fine till it explodes. But other than that, I haven't done much. Made a negative battery cable. I make all of these out of jumper cables. Works really good. I mean, 2-gauge wire, that's really good stuff. This is probably one of those things I should have done beforehand, but we have enormous holes in the firewall. So what I'm going to do is take some of this random aluminum flashing here, and we're just going to make some block-off plates. You know, we'll just take a square there, a circle here, maybe block off the wiper motor hole, you know, and I don't know, whatever that hole is. We're just going to block all them off. And, you know, that'll maybe keep us from dying. We're going to make a template with this box. We want to stay in this circle here. So, you know, a lot of guys probably like measure and stuff. Not me. Just eyeball it. You'll probably get close enough. And if you don't, well, it's cardboard. Huzzah! Look at that perfectly round circle. We do have a little problem. There's like a lip on that. So it's going to have to be a little oversized so we can suck it down around that lip. So, put this on my perfectly level surface here. And we will just trace, you know, not around the template we made at all. I was kind of an artist, you know. That's not bad though. So, we'll just cut that out and see if it fits. And here you can probably smell what I'm cooking. We'll just get some screws around it. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. I have a plan to cover the holes on the inside of it. So really, we just need it to give the appearance of, you know, working. Well, it's as nice as anything else on the car. Would have worked better if we would have cut that lip off, which I guess I could have done. Might do it on this one. This one doesn't matter so much. The fender will cover most of it. So, you can see the backside of our holes here, and you can see all that daylight through them. That's perfectly fine. So, what we're going to do is use some of this not Dynamat, Kill Mat, which is Dynamat, but it doesn't say Dynamat, and it costs like 1/3 as much. And it works really good. You should definitely check them out. So, we're just gonna take this and, you know, just slap her on up in there, and, you know, that'll keep our shoes from melting. He's cleaning up that aside over there. And we're just gonna do the firewall down to about the start of the floor pan there. Call it good.
Good?
Yeah?
Yep, it's stuck.
Looks pretty good. Good evening. Today we're gonna be working on this cold air intake, and as you can see, this is near perfection. So yeah, I'm kind of liking it. So we're working on our performance induction system here with this dryer duct that you just slide over there on this Corvette air cleaner through this gaping hole I ripped in here, and then it goes into this traffic cone that I legally acquired, and the traffic cone goes in there. One of my Instagram followers, Charger999, has christened this the funnel ram. I thought that was so genius. I had to steal it, but I wanted to make sure he got a shout out. That's Charger999. So, this is a traffic cone that you can obviously purchase at like a hardware store, okay? And it just fits in here so perfect. I kind of had to redo this one. I didn't like how it fits, so we're going to start from scratch here. But fits really good. Old mock-up here. This is kind of what I was getting an idea of. A little screen on that, make it pop. And but I didn't like how that one looked, so we're starting over. Obviously, we'll paint the inside of it black. That way, it doesn't show orange. I made the mistake of using regular spray paint first time, and it never dried. So some of this vinyl dye will probably do the trick. So I've installed the screen here, made kind of a pocket. I thought that looked kind of neat. And we're just going to screw the screen in, hopefully, and at the same time attach the, you know, funnel or whatever you want to call it to the car. I'm going to try to use this right angle thing I just got for Christmas today, just for kicks. Oh, man, that thing looks good. I like that. Wife got me impact driver, drill, and a right angle chuck for Christmas. Lord knows I needed them. Question, will this actually do anything? I think it might. All right, now we'll just trim the excess off. We'll call that a day. All right, so I went ahead and shot a screw into this. This is just a swivel adapter for, I don't know, dryers or something. I don't know houses. But we'll just put some of this around here to, you know, create a positive seal around this and also to potentially hold it on. Oh, easy there now. Sticky stuff. Well, that's actually not bad at all. All right, let's move on to our next step. So we kind of got our general layout here, and I'm just going to guesstimate where to cut this. Probably something like that. I don't even know if you can cut this, but I'm going to try. I'm guessing you want to leave this like as scrunched as possible, you know, because you don't want it to be too expanded, and then it would be flimsier, I would think. So I'm thinking put that on like that, and we'll just kind of smush this out. Oh man, that is nearly perfection, I must say. That's pretty good, man. I don't like this angle though. The beauty of this setup is fully adjustable. Full custom, baby. Take a look at that. Boom. You ever find yourself in need of a hose clamp and you don't have one handy? Get yourself some baling wire. Loop it around what you're trying to secure. Keep it about even on both sides. Squeeze it flush around what you're trying to do here. And then twist. Get you a pair of needle nose to help out. Boom. And that's a free hose clamp if you have anything that eats hay. Well, both sides is done. So I figured if I painted it black, that might disguise it as, you know, perhaps being a little bit less dryer vent-like. But it just goes to show, like, it's not the nicest looking thing in the world, but it's super functional. And I didn't have a way to put those headlights in. It's really the only reason I did this. So this is a good alternative. And if you cared, you could probably do this way better. But I don't. Boom. Honestly, it looks just like factory intake ducting. Off of pretty much any like 1970s and 80s GM vehicle. Probably because it was also dryer duct. Well, this is really cool looking now. However, the battery's supposed to go right there. And, well, that's pretty easy. We'll just relocate it to the trunk with our battery box. Oh. Right. Nope. That's not going to hold it. Well, at some point in the middle of your project, there comes a time where you got a lot of crap laying around. So that time is now. And we're just going to load up old Blue here with some of this scrap metal and get cleaned up. And we'll just kind of press the reset button so we can continue working. Well, this is, you know, a little bit better. It's quite a haul, really. Not all of it's out of that car, but a lot of it is. And if you're lucky, maybe you'll be drinking beer out of it someday. Well, here's our next endeavor. Radiator. And I didn't have one laying around for this. But I did have this Corvette radiator laying about. And she looks like a 3-core, 4-core, I think, maybe. I don't know. But it is way too small for this, no doubt about it. But it's good, and you know those C3 Corvettes are pretty notorious for needing a good cooling system, and it did the trick there. So I don't know, I'll give it a shot. Because why spend $100 on an aluminum radiator when I could use this one for free potentially? And so let me show you what it's got. Here is my favorite electric fan. These are found on any 90s Thunderbird or Cougar. Well, not any of them, but I think like 96 or 95, somewhere in there. Anyway, these are really good. They flow a ton of air. I have one in my Corvette. I've used them and everything, and this came out of my Circle Track car actually. And I used it there, and I used it in the Circle Track car I had before that. And they work really good. So, and you can get them for $17 at my local pick-a-part. We're going to try to shoehorn this in here. I mean, obviously, it's actually about the right width, but it's much, much shorter. So we're just going to pray to the pole barn garage gods and hope that they provide us with some way to shim this up about 2 inches by 4 wide. Rejoice! The Lord has provided. So we'll just throw a couple of these in here. Boy, that's awfully close to our water pump pulley. It technically clears, but not great. You can see it's pretty tight even when I shove it in there. Not a lot of room. I really like to keep a little bit of wiggle room with my stuff because it's cobbled, to say the least. Let me see if I can engineer something a little better. Well, here's our problem. So for a cooling system to work right-ish, the highest point in the radiator system has to be where the air comes out, which in most old cars is the cap. You just pop the cap off, it burps, and air comes out. We don't have that luxury here. And I don't really know why. I almost wonder if the engine is actually high in the car. But I don't really know. I mean, this is all smashed down. I mean, that could be it, but I don't know if we can... I don't know know, somehow pull that up or shim it up, or can't pull the radiator any higher because of it just runs into it. It's really not even the radiator. Even the right radiator wouldn't work. So I don't even think buying the right radiator would fix this. I'm gonna try, I don't know, I mean, because that's bolted in on the bottom. It would go up some if I pulled those 2x4s out that are under the core support. I could lift the core support up. That's hard to judge without a fender on it. I guess I could, these fenders aren't exactly the best to, like, you know, get precision adjustments from. So, I mean, I don't know, I guess we can set one on and see what happens. Clear off the workbench here. And probably tell us something, maybe. Or not. I guess I could go get a good fender and look. So this is some random Le Mans fender I found. And I mean, I don't think it looks odd on there or anything. I mean, it is a little low up here. Maybe an inch. But not that much. Man, doesn't it look a lot better with an actual fender on there? Okay. Well, put this back in the stash. And maybe we'll throw a jack in it. See if it does anything. Well, I believe I have found the answer. Sort of. It's close enough. So I changed the water neck around a different style of Pontiac water neck, and then I found this random hose that seemed to work. Now it kind of shoots back and lets us kind of lay it down. You know, it looks nicer, I think. The lower hose actually just fit. So I think that's going to take care of our problem here. And yes, I tech screwed the radiator into place. It seems really sturdy, actually. I don't know. Well, we found an alternator bracket, and it seems pretty good. Got the power steering pump bolted on right. Straightened this original pulley out. And as you can see, it's perfectly square and not wobbly at all. So, no problem there. We got our funnel ram induction, alternator, power steering pump. Need a couple of belts. I think it's going to do it for us. I know I've just been scatterbrained all over the place, but, you know, that's just how it goes. When you're dealing with something that needs literally every single thing. So, I think our next step is going to be diving into the wiring. And that's going to be at least one, maybe two in itself. Anyway, just want to remind you, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and ring the bell. And, you know, have a good night. It's nice seeing you guys. I really appreciate you all. The channel is just growing faster than I ever could have anticipated. And I'm really glad to have you guys here. We're going to see this sucker through. And it'll be sooner than you think. Anyway, everybody have a good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. And take it easy.